In the land of Lunarinth, everyone is born under a celestial sign, one of the 12 zodiacs. These signs don't just define personality, they shape magic. Fire burns, water flows, nature thrives, and air moves freely. But sometimes, not all magic is the same. Not here, in Starstruck Academy. It was a dark, chilly night. A girl named Nova was sleeping in her bed, enjoying the comfort of her soft pillows. But then, she abruptly awoke from her peaceful sleep, her eyes widening and centering their vision at the ceiling. She decided to lift herself up and off the bed, where she then walked to the balcony. She leaned across the stone railing and gazed upon the night sky, noticing the way the stars glimmered and shined in the dark. It was a beautiful sight. She couldn't help but reach into the sky, as if longing for something. But suddenly, she heard a voice behind her. "Looking off at the stars again, sis?" the voice of a young boy uttered from behind her. Nova quickly turned her gaze to the boy, noticing it was her little brother, Oran. She smiled and chuckled lightly. "How'd you know?" she asked, teasingly, her tone sarcastic. Oran stepped closer, placing himself directly next to her, and leaned on the railing as well. Then, he turned his gaze to Nova. "I like the stars. You remind me of you," he said. Nova smiled, her expression softening. "Why are you up so late?" she said softly. "I couldn't sleep. I can't believe you're actually going to Starstruck Academy tomorrow," he said, as he looked up at her with admiration. "I heard only the greatest go there," he added. Nova smirked and nudged Owen's shoulder. "Are you saying I'm not great?" she asked teasingly. "What? No, that's not what I mean," Owen retorted, his face flushing with embarrassment. Nova ruffled Owen's messy hair. "I'm just teasing you, goofball," she said. Owen breathed a sigh of relief with a hint of annoyance. "Mom worked really hard to get me in. I just hope I can make the most of it," Nova says, shifting her body across the railing. Owen grins. "You'll be the best. I know it," he said. Nova smiles. "Thanks. I'll do my best," she said. They stand in comfortable silence for a while, admiring the stars together. But then, Nova realizes that she should be resting right now. "Come on, let's get back to sleep," she said. Oren nods, then yawns softly. They walk together back inside and head back to their respective bedrooms. Nova tucks herself into the bed and slowly drifts off into a peaceful slumber once more. After some time, the moon falls and the sun emerges once more. Nova is fast asleep in her bed, snoring rather noisily, when suddenly, a beautiful woman, long flowing purple dress, as well as Nova's little brother, Boron, enters Nova's room. "Nova, honey, wake up. It's time for your first day," the woman said. Nova groaned and shifted in bed. "5 more minutes, Mom," she groaned. The woman sighed. 5 more minutes and you'll miss the portal, she uttered. Nova suddenly jolted up, realizing how urgent this was. Nova rushed to her bathroom and got ready, showering, brushing her teeth, getting into uniform, etc. Just as she fastened her shoelaces, a huge portal materializes directly in front of her, its power radiating and swirling. And then, a tall, mysterious figure, cladded in sturdy knightly armor, emerged. "Miss Nova, your transport has arrived," the figure said. Nova took a deep breath and exhaled. She looked up at the portal, realizing that this was it, and the other side of the portal would be her new life. She turned to her family and smiled. "This is it," she said. She couldn't help but feel a twinge of fear in her chest. What awaited on the other side? "You'll do great," Nova's mother said, as she placed a comforting hand on Nova's shoulder. Nova nodded subtly and looked at her brother. "Try not to get on Mom's nerves too much, okay?" she said with a hint of sarcasm in her voice. Oran chuckled. "No promises," he said. Nova chuckled and then turned her gaze back to the portal and started walking towards it. "Don't forget to write," Oran shouted. "I won't," Nova said before finally stepping to the portal. The knightly figure followed shortly. Nova stepped out of the portal, her gaze locking on the grand archaic school entrance. There was a gate, boarding off any intruders. "Wow," Nova uttered in amazement. Suddenly, the gate opened, almost as if it knew of Nova's arrival. Nova and the escort walked past the gate and down to the courtyard. In the midst of her walk, Nova noticed other students walking the same path. Nova smiled, feeling that for once, she was in the right place. Once Nova and the escort made it to the courtyard, the figure gave a gentle bow. "Good luck, miss," he said, then walking off. Nova nodded, then looked around. A seemingly endless number of students filled the courtyards, each with unique magical backgrounds and races, from sweet ellers to fairies. It was an amazing sight to behold. It gave Nova a sense of belonging. Soon enough, every student had arrived, and the gates closed off for good. Suddenly, a flash of what looked like remarkably powerful arcane air magic filled the air. Huge gusts of wind shrouded the students, forcing their eyes shut. When they finally opened their eyes and the dust settled, a figure could be seen. A woman with long, flowy white hair, as if it was being carried by the wind itself, and a pair of elegant, powerful wings, akin to that of a butterfly, casting a shadow over the group of students. The woman smiled softly. "Welcome, students. I'm your headmistress, Tamira. Today marks the first day at Starstruck Academy. This wonderful academy has taught the most remarkable ones in history, and each and every one of you will inspire to reach your fullest potential," she said, her tone gentle. "Now, it is time to make your way to the testing hall, where you'll be properly assessed on your zodiac sign. I wish everyone a wonderful first day." Then, another gust of wind shrouded the students once more, and just as quickly she appeared, she disappeared. Noah was left with a feeling of astonishment. She had never seen such powerful magic. Students, including Nova, started making their way to the nearest entrance into the academy. Nova struggled a bit to find the hall. The school was, quite frankly, massive. Huge stone walls, massive corridors, endless flights of stairs. It was all too much. She decided maybe asking others for help would be a better idea. She approached another girl. Hey, sorry to bother you, but any idea where the testing hall is? The school is a little too big for my taste, Nova said. Oh, yeah, for sure, girl, I got you. Come on, follow me, the girl said as she started her carefree stroll through the hallway. Nova began walking, too, staying at her side. Ayla Monroe, what's your name, doll? She said, a light-hearted smile spread across her face. Nova chuckled slightly. I'm Nova Sky, she said. Ayla's eyes seemed to light up. That's such a gorgeous name. I got stuck with Ayla, she said, dramatically rolling her eyes to the back of her head. Nova chuckled. Be glad you didn't end up with something like Myrtle. Ayla burst out laughing, spinning for almost 10 seconds. Stop, you're such a riot, Ayla said. Nova folded her arms and made a dramatic pose. Yeah, I know, she said sarcastically. This sent Ayla on another laughing streak. As the duo cracked more light-hearted jokes on their walk, they eventually made it to the testing hall. This is it, Ayla said, with one hand on her hip. Students were being analyzed by their instructor. It didn't look too complicated or long, fortunately. Nova and Ayla made their way into the line and waited their turns. Ayla was first. She stepped into the chamber and came out a few seconds later. Aquarius, the tester stated bluntly. No surprise there, Ayla said playfully, walking out of the way of the testing chamber. It was finally Nova's turn. She couldn't help but feel a tad bit of nervousness. What if she wasn't worthy enough to be here? She tried blocking out the thoughts and just headed inside. She stepped into the chamber, and suddenly, almost instantly, a shroud of darkness engulfed her. Her surroundings completely disappeared. This was clearly the work of some sort of sorcery the chamber possessed. Then, seconds later, the darkness faded, bringing her surroundings back. The door to the chamber opened, releasing Nova from it. Nova crept out and turned to the tester. The tester had a confused look on her face while staring down at the results. She said. It says you're a question mark? She added in a confused tone. Noah was confused. What do you mean it's a question mark? That's not possible, is it? She asked, her tone filling with a hint of worry. The tester scratched her head in confusion. I don't know, kid. This is the first time I've seen something like this. I'll, have to bring it up with the principal. You can go ahead, the tester said, her confused tone still lingering. Noah sighed and walked over to where Ayla was waiting. You okay? Ayla asked, noticing Nova's worried expression. Yeah, I'm just confused. What does a question mark mean? Maybe it's a sign I don't belong here, Nova uttered. Ayla frowned. Girl, don't say that. Of course you belong here. You probably cast a spell wrong or something, he said. Nova sighed again. Yeah, you're right, she said, her expression clearing up a little. Ayla smiled and grabbed Nova's hand. Now, come on, let's go explore the campus, she said as she pulled Nova away. Well, okay, Nova said as she was being pulled by Ayla. After a long day of campus touring, Ayla and Nova made it to the dorm section. I heard it was first come, first serve. Come on, let's pick that one, Ayla said as she aimed for a random dorm room. If you say so, Nova said, shrugging. The duo entered the dorm room and glanced around. Ooh, it smells nice in here, Ayla said. They looked around for a bit and then settled on which bed they would take. Noble flopped onto hers and took a deep breath. Long day, huh? Ayla said as she sat on her bed. No kidding, Nova said sarcastically with a chuckle. As the duo eased up and relaxed, the first day of school finally ended. As Nova launched in her bed, she couldn't help but recall the situation that happened earlier. She hoped Ayla was right, and that it really was just a poorly cast spell. Because if she was wrong, Nova feared what was in store for her future at the academy. Later that evening, a mysterious student sneakily crept their way off campus and ran off to what could only be described as a decrepit, old, mysterious cave. They entered the cave, a soft smirk writing on their face. They muttered an arcane spell, one that enveloped the area in an overwhelming darkness. Suddenly, a shadowy figure emerged from the darkness. The students' gaze followed this darkness. My Empress, they mumbled. I sense the powerful energy you're looking for. The figure let out a mischievous laugh. How splendid. Great job, little one. Hunt it down. Don't let it out of your grasp. And once you finally catch it, bring it back to me. Understood. The student nodded eagerly. Excellent, the figure said, fading back into the darkness. The student, with these newly given orders, made their way outside the cave and back to the school. Who knows what could be truly in store for Starstruck Academy?